welcome to Tea Time with Dorarena. All right, so last week I had a guest, which was Stephanie Olsen, and our we got another guest coming, and I'll let you know about that next week. But anyway, I'm so happy that you are tuning in, and I want to say thank you for joining us. And I am doing my tea that I really like, the chai tea with the little milk and honey. So it's tea time. I found out from a friend that if you put your top on it, steeping it, and it makes the flavor just come out more, and you can get more use out of your tea bag. How about that? Is that practical wisdom or not? Okay, well, anyway, we're going to talk about today self-affirmation. Yes, self-affirmation. And I was thinking about this because that has been like an area in my life where I really struggled a lot and had to change a lot of things that I was saying about myself. And but one thing that I wanted to share with you all is that even though because I'm going to share with you something that I say to myself now, but before, oh man, it was just not happening. But, just because a person has wisdom does not mean that they don't make mistakes. Isn't that correct? Because wisdom is learning from your mistakes and being able to rechannel that in a way where it will build you up instead of tearing you down. And so, first of all, I want to share with you, I wrote down the definition, because you know me, I like giving out, the dictionary definition for things. So I wrote down self-affirmation, okay? It means the recognition and assertion of the existence and value of one's individual self. So self-affirmation is encourages you to think positive about yourself. And how many of us really need to change what we think about ourselves? If you go back within your mind or just think about some of the things that you say to yourself on a daily basis, your negative self-talk, you would agree that, oh my goodness, we need to change how we think about ourselves. And that happens through our own self-affirmation. What are we affirming? What are we saying about ourselves? Are we being positive with ourselves? And as we start affirming our worthiness and our value, that will help increase our confidence and our self-regard, which is self-respect. So that's what we want to do, okay? Because low self-esteem puts little value on your opinion and ideas, okay? So I got some stuff written down here that I want to share with you. And so listen to this quote. I don't know if I quoted you this before, but listen to this quote, okay? This is by Henry Ford. He was the founder and president of Ford Automotive Company, okay? He said, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. Now think about that. If you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you're right. I think I shared this once before. But you know, confidence is a healthy ingredient in our lives. And so I would say self-affirmation is twined into that, okay? So our self-assurance and trusting in our abilities and believing in ourselves, you know. Okay, so let me share this with you. You know, with me, I had a lot of negative stuff that happened with me. And so people used to say all kinds of stuff and everything. And you know what? After a while, you'll start to believe that after a while, after you get to listening to what everybody else has to say about you. That's why it's so good that you need to, know how you feel about yourself and not accept what everybody else thinks about you. And you know what? People that have confidence, they believe in themselves, they believe in their ability, and they go for the things that they believe in, and they don't care whether people criticize them or say anything negative or mock them. They believe in what they believe, and they go for it. That's people with confidence. So think if you're a low self-confidence, it's just the opposite. You have no beliefs in your abilities. You don't think that you can do this. You don't think that you can do that. And, people criticize you or mock you. You fall apart and stuff. We don't want to be like that. We want to be women of wisdom, and we want to think the positive things about ourselves. And we're not talking anything about, being conceited or excessively, having an opinion about yourself. Well, that's what conceited means anyway. It's excessively having a high opinion about yourself. So we're not talking about that. We're talking about just having confidence in who you are. You were made to produce. You were made to be an additive. You were made to be somebody that other people can learn from and be encouraged by. All these good things, but if you don't believe in you, nobody else is going to believe in you. And so that's something that you have to do. And I had to learn that, I think I don't remember how old I was back then, but there was this coach that lived in our neighborhood. His name was Mr. Dorsey. Some of y'all may know him. And I remember I was kind of a shy girl. I just didn't get involved in a lot of stuff. And I remember one time, he told me, he said, you ought to go out for baseball, and I thought, I don't think so. But he convinced me to go out for baseball, and he coached like the boys' baseball team, but, he was very encouraging to me. And so I went out and everything. And when you don't know anything about the sport, you are a rookie, And so, I was out in right field, because how, it's kind of like how often do people hit the ball out on the right field. So I was just starting out, and man, I felt like crumbs, because I was not good at the game. And, there was so many other girls that was much better than me. And I mean, we have some tough hitters. Well, they call it softball. They had some tough hitters out there. I mean, these girls, they knew how to play. And here I am, and I'm like, oh, brother. But I still stuck with it. I stayed with it. And I think one time we got to the championship. And, you know, when I got up to bat, you know, I was known for, you know, hitting the ball too far. And I don't know what came over me. But you know what they did? They told the outsiders, if you know the outsiders, you know, the right field, center field, left field catchers, they told them to come in, you know, and I was like, wow, they don't think that I can hit the ball that far. So I was so, oh my goodness, I was so proud of myself that day. I don't know what mustered up inside of me, but it did. And I hit that ball over their heads, and I got the third base, and I was like, woo! You know, I was feeling good about Dorarena. And so that kind of boosted my self-confidence, you know. And that's what I'm saying, you know, unless you get out there, you know, unless you're willing to be vulnerable, unless sometimes sometimes you get humiliated. But you know what? The other people will be the ones chewing the cud, okay? After you develop yourself. And it's not that you're trying to make it be that way. It just happens to be that way, because the more you practice at whatever you do, the better you become. And as I practiced, you know what? I went to left field. I did first base. I did shortstop. I was the back catcher. You know, I was improving in my game, you know, but one thing I determined not to do, and that was to give up. And it really built my self-confidence up, you know. And so you have to get out there. And so, you know, at first, when I first started out, I mean, my self-affirmations were poor. You know, I'm like, oh man, you know, all the other girls are better than me. I can't do this. I can't do that. You know, and that's the reason why I wasn't all that good, because I kept telling myself I wasn't all that good. But, you know, after I just started practicing, and then, you know, my dad, he would come out, you know, and we would play catch together. And that improved my skills, because my dad would, you know, play catch with me and stuff like that. He wasn't really a you know, person that just kind of went out and watched those things, because he never really came to any of my games, but he did help me practice catching and throwing and stuff like that. So, you know, that's just an experience that I had back then. And I'm sure that the rest of you have had experiences like that, where maybe you gave up before you even got good. You know, maybe you were good at that and then started doing something else and you wasn't so good at that and gave up on that. Don't let that, you know, take away from who you are, because you can do all things. And for my Christian friends, you already know we can do all things through Christ that strengthen us, right? And so that's what helped me today. You know, as I continue to just, you know, learn some things. I went out for basketball, and I wasn't all that good at basketball, but boy, I really like basketball. But one thing I went out for gymnastics, and I did competition on that, and I came, you know, second place. I think one time I came in first place, but I came in second place, and that was the floor activities. These things built up my confidence. And so, you just gotta get out there and tell yourself, I can do this. And so that's what helped me change the way that I thought, because I shared this at the Incomparable Beauty Workshop that, with me at first, life was just a B. You know what I'm saying? That was just my philosophy. That was my motto. And then when I came to know the Lord, he changed that into life is a blessing. And so that changed my affirmation. That changed my worthiness. That changed my value, because I knew that I was important to him. And so that really helped a whole lot. How about that for a tea time break? Tea time. So, let's see, where were we? Okay, so whether you think you can, you can. Whether you think you cannot, you cannot. Isn't that something? And just our self-talk, what we say inside our minds is so important to how we do life. So I don't know if I'm on or not. If there's somebody that joined us, would you please let me know that you're with me? Because I don't know. On this side, it doesn't really show that it says live, but it doesn't usually has a number up there or something. But anyway, self-confidence, I wrote this down, I'm going to share this with you. Self-confidence is a trait that permeates your thought, your feelings, and your actions. Think about that. Self-confidence permeates your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Everything that you do, self-confidence filtered to everything you do. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Because really, you know what? If you don't, like I said, you don't think you can, you won't do it. If you feel like you can't, you won't do it. And then your actions, you won't have the actions to prove that you can, because you already defeated yourself with the thoughts and the feelings, right? That's some good stuff right there. Yeah, we got to emanate confidence in our words and our actions. You know it does, right? You can tell, look at somebody that you think that is confident. You can tell by their words, you can tell by their actions that they're confident. And so it emanates. You can feel inadequate, unsuitable without feeling incapable. We talked a little bit about that last week with Stephanie, that, sometimes I feel like I am inadequate, unsuitable. How in the world did I get where I'm at today? But that does not mean that I am not capable of doing what I'm doing, because I've been given the ability to be able to do that, and I believe in myself. And so that's what you have to do. You have to believe in yourself and, get out there. Get out there and try some stuff, and don't give up. Okay? So what is that saying? We have to have perseverance. All of these things work together, and you have to have perseverance. perseverance if you're going to be confident, because you just can't give up. You know, it takes practice, 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 and you become good at stuff, right? So that takes us over to self-esteem. And self-esteem is our beliefs and our own inherent value. Okay? So we're talking about your natural inherent, what you have inherited. You know, so what's inside of you? How deserving are you of love and happiness and success? That's, you know, that's your self-esteem. You know, and you know what I want to tell you? That, you know, you are deserving of love. You are deserving of respect. You know, some people treat you a certain way because you allow them to. And you know, I've been there, done that, and, you know, came to reality, and I'm like, wait a minute, you know, you're not going to just treat me any old kind of way. You're not going to talk to me any old kind of way. I'm not going to accept that. And you know what? You don't have to accept people treating you and talking to you any old kind of way. You deserve to be respected, you know, because all human beings deserve to be respected, right? So, okay, check this out. I want to share this with you. Self-confidence does not take into consideration any beliefs about worthiness or overall value. Rather, it focuses on ability to succeed and belief about one's likelihood of succeeding. That's self-confidence, okay? So, which is different from self-esteem. So self-esteem is your beliefs in your own inherent value, what you believe, how valuable you are, you know, to be loved, to be respected. That affects your self-esteem, okay? That is a fairly stable trait, is your self-esteem, okay? So I'm saying all of these things because, you know, this is relating to self-affirmation, because we need to start telling ourselves that we are worthy of respect. We are worthy of being valued in our own thoughts. You know, we need to think right about ourselves. Okay, so now there's a few things that you can do for your emotional self-care to help you, you know, build yourself up and build your self-esteem up, have self-confidence, is your emotional self-care. Okay, so we have to learn how to say no. And that was something that I had to learn. And I started practicing on my kids, you know. And I mean, you know, because you can't just let them do whatever they want to do. You know, you got to, you know, tell them no. And there's some people you just need to tell no. I can't do that. No, I'm not going to do that. You know, no, I'm not going to accept that. You know, we need to learn how to say no, and that will help your emotional self-care. Okay, we need to schedule me time. You need to schedule time for yourself. It's not being selfish just because you schedule time for yourself. Self-preservation is the mother of prevention. Did I get that right? Because you know the sayings and stuff. I'm not, whatever. But anyway, try some adult coloring. You know, my friend my friend, she bought me, you know, I love butterflies. And so she brought me this adult butterfly coloring book. And so sometime I get my coloring pencils out and stuff, and I'll just, you know, color my pictures and stuff like that. You know, that helps with stress. That helps with releasing tension. You know, it takes your mind off of stuff, and you just, you know, spending some me time with you. How about that? Take a moment to allow, now this is good. Listen to this. This is good. Take a moment to allow your feelings to be present without judging mistakes. Whoo! Oh yeah, that's a good practice right there. Okay, let me repeat that. Take a moment to allow your feelings to be present without judging them. Without judging your feelings. Yes, that's good for your emotional care. Yes, that's good. Allow yourselves to make mistakes. You know, I was really hard on myself when it came to making mistakes and stuff. And I really had to learn how to allow myself to make mistakes. And, you know, that's just another thing that we have to learn, how to not allow our self-talk to dominate our thinking and, well, filtrate our minds with a bunch of negative thoughts, you know. And so we have to allow ourselves to make mistakes. Take risk and allow mistakes. That's how you grow. It really is. Tea time again. Okay, so let's talk about touch a little bit on physical self-care. Okay, physical self-care, take some time to do some stretching exercises and take a walk, drink more water, go to bed early, get a massage. Yes, I think I just recently, how long ago was that? I got me a massage. Oh my goodness. Oh, it was nice. Get yourself a massage. Do something for your own self. Okay, social self-care. Ooh, get rid of those, avoid toxic people. They're everywhere. Avoid them. Spend time with people who are positive and enthusiastic. Spend time with them. Call a trusted friend or family and talk things through with. You know, we need those things. You know, we're not supposed to be hermits. We're not supposed to be alone. We need social care, you know, and all that is that's preventing and protecting yourself from a bunch of negative stuff. You know, build yourself. You know what? You know, the people that you hang around with are the people that you become like. And really, it's sad to say, but sometimes you got to get rid of some family members, you know, because, you know, it really doesn't matter whether they're related to you or not. You know, if they're pouring toxic liquid into your life, oh my goodness, what is that going to develop in you, you know? And so you can stop it your own self. So you got to protect yourself from that type of stuff. So, and the last one, as far as self-care is concerned, is spiritual self-care. Okay? Make time for meditation. Just sit back and just think about, you know, the day. You know, take a moment to just quiet your mind down and your thoughts and relax, you know, and do something nice for someone in secret. You know, don't even let them know, you know, that's spiritual self-care. You know, when you do nice things for people, you're not expecting to get anything out of it. You're not trying to, boast, or, you know what I'm saying. Read, for my Christian friends, read books that are encouraging. Read the Bible. Pray. Tell God how you feel. Be honest about that kind of stuff. He loves honesty. He already know your thoughts anyway, so you might as well just spill the beans. You can't hide anything from him anyhow. And so you might as well just share that with him. Get it out. If you don't have a trusted friend, you know what? He's listening. You can talk to him. Okay? So those are some self-care ways that will help you. If you apply those exercises, they will help you. So all of this, like I said, adds up to self-affirmation. And so let's talk about that, and then we're gonna go ahead and end the program. Okay, so like I said, self-affirmation, encouraging yourself to think positive about yourself. We're not talking about being conceited or overconfident or arrogant or anything like that. Like I said, if you don't believe in you, how are you going to convince everybody else to believe in you? It's kind of like going after a job. How are you going to convince them to hire you if you don't believe that you should be hired? You don't have confidence. You can see it. People can see it. Okay. So start telling yourself, I got some affirmations that you can start telling yourself. And the reason why I said what I said earlier is because I'm going to share with you an affirmation that I speak over myself. And you know what? I tell myself that I am a woman of wisdom. That's what I tell myself. I am a woman of wisdom. And if I don't believe that I have wisdom, then how can I share wisdom? And so that was something that was given to me anyway. How can I give it away if I can't receive it? And so here's a few other things that you need to start saying over yourself, okay? So here we go. I believe in me. I believe in me. That's a good affirmation. I acknowledge my own self-worth. My confidence is soaring. How about that? Write some of this stuff down and start saying it to yourself on a daily basis, okay? I am not my mistake. I am not my mistake. So quit preventing yourself and start saying, I am not my mistake, okay? Here we go. I accept myself unconditionally. Wow, that's a good one. Yeah, we need to learn how to love ourselves unconditionally. Yes, you're going to make mistakes. Yes, there's going to be things that, you may not get right all the time, but why focus on those things? Turn those things around and make them into something positive so that you can have a successful life and believe in yourselves. Check out that one song by Michelle Williams, Believe in Me. I played that at the Incomparable Beauty Workshop. Oh, it's a really good song. I am successful. Even if you don't feel that way, you can start saying that about yourself. I am a beautiful person. This is really not about whether you feel it or not. You need to start saying it and make this a practice so that you can change your thinking. If you can change your thinking, you can change your thoughts and your minds about who you are, and you can change the way you feel about things, and then you'll start acting, in a successful way and start stepping out in ways that you thought that you never could step out. You know what? I never would have dreamed of doing this on my own. But you know, I've learned to believe in myself. I've learned to stop saying a bunch of negative things about myself. And still, you know, that's an ongoing practice. I still have to make sure that I'm catching my thoughts and not allowing my thoughts to run rampant and just think any old thing, you know. Because, you know, a lot of people, oh my goodness, you can hear from a lot of people. A lot of people got a lot of negative things to say about you in your face or behind your back. They are doing that, you know, but you need to hear your own voice. Say positive things, because your voice is the most important voice that you need to hear outside of God's voice, you know. But you know what I'm saying? You need to start saying good, positive things about yourself. So this is just a few things that I've given you. You can actually just go online and type up, you know, self-love affirmations, and they'll give you a list of positive things to say about yourself, and just start saying those things. All right. Okay. Well, this is Tuesday Tea Time with Dorarena, and we're talking about self-affirmation, and start saying positive things and affirm, you know, those positive qualities inside of you. Bring them out so that you can shine and be that confident woman that you really desire to be inside. And so do the exercises and do them daily. All right. Okay. Well, remember, walk in wisdom. Love you.